So with that said, Comrade Paul have many more things to say, but he will get that chance to say them. You know, before me bring up the final two speakers, you know, we have to do a little, because the people from Hanover say, me make them do the right thing yet, you know. So Jen said, you have to wait 30 seconds, you know, sir. So, what you say, boss? You're General Secretary of the Noble People's National Party, the next member of Parliament in Westmoreland, a medical doctor by profession, the way the man smart and bright, and as a member of the PNP, he went back to school to do a law degree. I say Sandy Bay, East and Western Hanover, make welcome Dr. Dayton Campbell.
East. Comrade Chairman, Comrade Party Leader, and the next Prime Minister of Jamaica, Comrade Mark Jefferson Golding. To all of the comrades on the platform and the comrades in the audience, greetings. I used to come to the platform to assassinate, you know, but I've gone back to my roots. I've gone back to my roots because in this war here, we need the protection of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Because no weapon that is formed against the People's National Party will prosper. No weapon. I saw an article today. No weapon. No weapon. No weapon. I saw an article today where the Prime Minister said that he is cutting ribbons because he has achievements. And I want to show you one of the situations in which a ribbon was cut. It's not my daughter, no worry yourself. Your ribbon never cut. I know that. 8 years ago, 9 years, the Cornwall Regional Hospital started having problems. First, they said something was wrong with the AC at the hospital. Then persons started having breathing problems, skin problems. The government, the Jamaica Labour Party government, told us that it was going to take us $2 billion as a country to fix the hospital. 9 years later, the Cornwall Regional Hospital is still not yet completed. And the estimate given by the minister, not by the PNP, the estimate given by the minister to fix the hospital is now over $20 billion. I want for you to think for a second. If you had a problem at your home, at your house, your yard, and you call the contractor, and when you call the contractor and show him your problem, him say to you, look here, this is going to take $2 million to fix. And you say, how long? And him say, 6 months. Now you have to move out. You have to rent one local place while him in there fix up him thing. Him take 8 years. And then him say to you, we are going to have one local ribbon cutting. When you go over your yard now, things say your yard fix up for your moving. You realize that the man draw one ribbon across your veranda, cut the ribbon, and say the veranda is now open. You still don't have no bedroom. You still don't have no bathroom. You still don't have no dining room. You still don't have no living room. You still don't have no kitchen, but in cut ribbon for your veranda. The Labour Party cut ribbon up a Cornwall Regional Hospital for your administrative block. is a wicked, uncaring government. And we can hardly wait for the Prime Minister to put on him green clocks, ring the bell, and make we take him out of misery and vote him out of power. Now, when I was growing up, I grew up in a PNP community. PNP community. When somebody said them a labor right, when me I grew up, you look on them strange. You wonder what exactly happened to cause them to want to do that. It was unheard of. But in growing up, we still figured out why we support the PNP. It's not just because we're born in it. We still figured out why is it that our grandparents tell us, say, at this are the party that we're supposed to support. And whilst they were giving us that information, and those days they could have that discussion in taxi, at the bar, anywhere you check them had the discussion. And they told me that they support the PNP because PNP is the party of the people, is the party for the poor people of this country. They went further and they told me that the PNP is the party for education. And they told me that the PNP was the party for housing. There is a discussion taking place in the country right now about how to get students to school. One whole heap of hullabaloo going on. It has gotten to a point now where they are now driving out them green campaign car with the two big yellow bus back of them. Say them a parade the school bus them. Before we talk about how we get the students to school, let us talk about what the problem is that needs to be solved. In Jamaica, right now, 30 out of every 100 students don't go to school consistently. They call it absenteeism. When we did the research, because we are not just coming here wanting to be in government for wanting to be in government's sake. When we win, the people of Jamaica wins. When we did the research as to why is it that these children are not going to school, we found out that the parents cannot afford lunch money. And some of them cannot afford transportation money. So we developed two programs. One of them, we said that every needy child in school will get a warm, nutritious meal, complement of the People's National Party government. The study shows that 55 out of every 100 Jamaican are suffering from food insecurity. Them not eat a proper meal. When we look at the number of students that applies to, it's over 260,000. The government is currently giving just over $100 and something per day to pass. And them separate the part, them make them feel away when them there at school. We have said that we will increase the amount to each child to $400 per day, so that they can have a proper meal and they can learn, because education is a vaccine against poverty. We did not stop there because of what this party is about. This party is about the people. And so the food that they will eat, we have said to the schools that they will have to do a proper menu and tell us from early, to tell us that in November, this is what they are going to offer. These are the items they are going to offer. When they tell us that, they will tell us what they need. They need 500 pounds of Irish, 300 pounds of pumpkin, 400 pounds of callaloo. your member of parliament will come to the farmers in the community and tell them to go and produce these items because you have a guaranteed market in the schools. We will spend an additional $9 billion. The farmers will benefit and the students will get a warm, nutritious meal in school. Our proposals are to solve problems that are affecting our people. Why do we need to solve the education problem? We need to solve the education problem because education is what causes children to live a better life than their parents did. It can break the intergenerational cycle of poverty. This government deserves to be voted out of office for just their management of the education portfolio. When we left office, 28% of students were passing 5 subjects, to include maths and English. Now it has gone down to only 18% under this government, and yet still they claim that they are the best government. It is a lie from the bottom of the pit of hell. A part of the reason for that, the next significant reason that we found, is that people cannot afford to send the children to school, the transportation. We have said, no, nobody tell him them something, and my brother, because I don't want them say me if you apologize and not me cuss, you know. Don't want you tell the Prime Minister that. No. This is the part that is causing the big hullabaloo in the country. How do we transport them to school? No. If 30 out of every 100, and in rural Jamaica it's even higher, not going to school because they can't afford to go, they don't have the transportation. The PNP has said that each day that you go to school, we will give $500 per day. That's $2,500 per week. That's $10,000 per month we will give to that child that cannot go to school because of transportation, to help them so that they can pay them fare go to school. And we will give that to 20,000 students. When I hear the Labour Party criticizing it, I say, what a set of hypocrites, because currently there are 7,500 students on path that gets a subsidy to go to school, and they use the buses that are at the school and the taxis currently. But when the PNP propose it, all of a sudden them start cost taxi man, them start cost this, them start cost that. I am not supporting any form of indiscipline. The PNP fundamentally cannot be against a rural bus system because it is the PNP that put the JUTC in place. In 2015, it was the People's National Party that proposed the rural bus system and did a pilot in Clarendon, and it is this government that cut it out. So, a school bus system, what is the difference between us and them? I told you a long time ago that we are not the same. If the PNP was to spend $1.4 billion on school bus, we'd have buy brand new school bus from Toyota Jamaica that give you a 3-year warranty, that you can get the spare parts and that you can get servicing of the vehicles. That's what we would do, because we would not try eat no food off our guan. No. Understand this. When I was going to school, we used to have to get up early and go to a road, go flag down a taxi. Now, look at any high school in the country. They have several coaster buses that are contracted to carry the students to school. Even some of the MPs in Parliament now own some of the buses that carry picnic at school. They carry them to school and they park the bus, they don't even run it. They park it outside of the school, and then when school finishes, then take them and carry them back home safely. We have said that we will give some of the money to those persons, private transport providers. And we have to give some to taxis. Why? Because there are some areas that not the bus where Darrell have, not the new bus where we buy, not the coaster bus where park up now, we can't go up there because the road narrow and the road bad. And picnic from up there need to go to school, so we have to use the taxi operators. We are not just giving away things. The guidance counselor and the social worker will have to go and do the check and identify the students that are affected that we need to give it to. We will have to ensure that the taxi operators that are carrying them, that them show that them don't have no criminal record, and JP sign off on them to say, yes, these are suitable persons to transport our children to school. It's a joke thing this government depend. And they have apologists in the media that refuse to fact check anything that the government is doing. On the eve of the election, they're driving around these buses with their campaign vehicle in front. Then they parade in 93 JUTC buses. Hold on now. Make we talk about JUTC. When they took office in 2016, we had 450 buses on the road under JUTC. Now, with the new buses that they have bought, the 93, we are at less than 300. When they took office, the ridership on JUTC was 62 million per year. The ridership is now 18 million, a third of what it was when they took over from us. When we left office, the JUTC was supplemented by $3 billion. It was losing $3 billion per year. Now it is losing $11 billion per year under this government. And I'm talking about carrying students. In 2016, the JUTC carried 100,000 students per day. Now it is carrying 5,500. Shame on Darrell Vaz and the Labour Party. Them now get away with no harm's house in this campaign. I hear the minister said that the bus we have done at Portland, that over the last 9 weeks, it has carried 10,000 students. It is not true. Students have to go to school every day, Mr. Minister, every day. They have to go to school and they have to go back home from school. So 9 weeks, and you go to school 5 days a week. 9/5 is what? No, 45. So if you have 10,000 and you divide it by 45, you get 222. Because it's 2 trips, them have to go to school and them have to come back, you have to divide the 222 by 2. It is only 111 students that bus would be taking if they were targeted at taking the students that are missing school. But that's not what they are doing. They are not trying to solve the absenteeism problem. What they are doing is setting up a system where coming like Christmas time, where a bus with a 30-seater have 300 people that try going there, and a first come, first serve. That will not change the 30% that are missing school. Therefore, it will not change the educational outcome. The PNP is about change in a positive way. I see them say them have some problems with my general. I see them say them have some problems with my general. You know? And I understand the discomfort where labor rights have. I understand it. Because labor rights know say Mark Golding no come for script. Them know say making money already and him come here for serve. So they know that them can mix him up in no corruption. Then they know that behind him is a general when I beg nobody nothing. Me no want no contract, me no want no friend, me no want nothing from nobody. So I understand the discomfort because them a look on and them a say, yo, you know, so we not go can't talk to none of them too because them not go take no talk. I people business we come about. We come to ensure that the people can have a better life. So you hear what them say them have? Them have a problem with him complexion. Lord Almighty. When we say our motto is out of many, we are one. Them say them have a problem with how him talk. Then they will we not use English and patois and just change it around how we feel like us so we turn. Them get up and them make up a story saying no born here when they know it's a lie. Because some of them and him go to school and them know saying born right here. They know he's a true Jamaican born on the soil of Jamaica. Then them want to come with argument about one dressing and one this and them same thing there. A leader we are look for. A leader we are look for. Our brain, we are concerned about the brain and the heart. We want to know where the brain is and where the heart is. You see them are all close on them, man. All close them, man. We don't pay no attention to them or something, man. It's what is in your brain and in your heart, man. The problems that we are having with freedom leader, oh, they are much more severe. They are much more severe. The problems we have with Mr. Holness is that the Integrity Commission say he take some money off of charity and buy some investment for himself. We have a problem with that. We have a problem that them same of companies with $400 million pass through and him can't explain it and him not pay no taxes at them. There's something that we have problem with the Prime Minister. So, understand you're a leader now. Because when we left Hanover, we were supposed to go on road and drill it in them head. You know. Few years ago, when a youth, I mean some youth on the periphery out there, so. You see a few years ago, when a youth light up a spliff, police used to just haul and pull them and do anything them feel like. Them haul and pull one of them named Mario Dean and lock him up. And in the lockup, them beat him and he died. There is one among us that stood up, Mark Jefferson Golden, and decriminalize the personal use of marijuana so police can haul and pull our black poor youth them no more. Not only that, but he made sure that you could expunge, fancy way of saying we could get rid of the criminal record that you did get because of ganja smoking. And when you had that criminal record, you couldn't go on farm work. You couldn't work for government. So all of them youth are now on the corner side. That's where the green armband they understand who make you down road and free and have no criminal record. What the PNP is founded for. Social justice. Is a social justice champion we're talking about here. I heard Comrade Paul will say it the other day. And he been in parliament long before me. And he said that in all of his years in the parliament, the best legislator, which is the main role of a parliamentarian, is to deal with the laws, to implement new laws, repeal some, and amend some. The best legislator in the parliament, whether PNP or JLP over the last 30 years, is Mark Jefferson Golden. None of them can argue with that. Even when them come with some of these bills, like the other day, they come with a bill that them want to tax air B&B. It was Mark Golding that took up the bill with the little left hand and just hold it like that and go so and rip it apart, and they had to take it back and say them have to go do some work on it. We are talking about a legislative champion in Mark Jefferson Golding. When Russia and Ukraine start war and bombs are dropped, and an elephant man bombs away where people are jump up and enjoy themselves. You know? We are talking about real bomb, life in danger. The government told our children that are you in Ukraine, we're in Ukraine studying, that they should get a loan to come back home. Mark Golding went in his account and take out his personal money and send it go for the students them to carry them back home to Jamaica. Understand that we are talking about a caring, compassionate leader. A few years ago, the Prime Minister got Parliament and say criminals that sell land over Portmore. And him go over there with bulldozer and lit down the people them house. Him then go in at St. Catherine and people will get land from Michael Manley time. Serve them notice, say, I got throw them off of the land where them depend. It took Mark Jefferson Golding for him go court, go take out injunction so he can stop abuse poor people and stop throw them off of land, because every man needs a roof above his head. Considerate leader. Over 30 years ago, Mark Golding went into the inner city, Augustown, and he went in there and he found himself a nice empress, a Nubian goddess, and he made her into his wife, and he loved her then, and he's been loving her since. With him one wife named no call pan nothing else. Is a family man we are talking about. No. When labor rights are keep up arms house, allow them to know it is not a dibby-dibby leader that we are putting forward. We are putting forward Michael Manley reincarnated, the second coming of Michael Joshua Manley. We are putting forward an intellectual giant. Make welcome Hanover, the next Prime Minister of Jamaica, the President of the People's National Party, Mark Jefferson Golding.
Comrade Chairman of the meeting, Comrade Maria Mitchell. We're having this meeting this evening. If I would come down a little early and do a little tour of the constituency, East, with Comrade Anja Burkis. So, I say, yeah, I would do it, you know. So, we come down there, we start at 12 o'clock, and we drive over some terrible road, may I tell you. Oh my gosh. But we went all over the constituency. And all I can tell you is that I'm feeling quite comfortable with what I saw and what I felt in Eastern Hanover today. You know, the labor rights were very scanty, and the comrades were very energized and excited, and I could feel the nice vibes of victory coming our way. But you know, I heard some issues about water, and I saw the situation with the road. And I know, for example, in Montpelier, how hard the water situation is. And I know we have a big tank up on the hill there, because I've actually climbed up that tank myself and gone on the roof of the tank and looked down in the hole and see it empty. And I must tell you, Eastern Hanover, hope is on the way. Help is on the way. We will do our very best to bring you water as soon as we possibly can, sorting out that tank and the piping that is required. And you know, as has been said, we are blessed with the solar power nowadays. So the high expense of pumping water isn't what it used to be. We just need to harness the technology and put the will, the political will behind the solution. Comrades, the next PNP government is going to resume the great mission of our movement. The mission that came into existence in 1938 when a man called O.T. Fairclough came back from Haiti and he was unable to work in the bank in Jamaica as a black man. And he said, time come, we must have a national movement to lead us out of bondage, to give our people rights, to elevate our people, to control their destiny and run the country. And he chose the most brilliant man in Jamaica of that era. No one other than the right excellent Norman Washington Manley to be the first president of the People's National Party. And that movement has been a movement about empowerment, about upliftment of the people, about equality of access to opportunities, about building houses for the people, about bringing educational opportunities to the people, and about building an economy that gives everybody an opportunity to have a good quality of life. The mission of the PNP is clear. And we are coming out of a history where there was a lot of inequality, there was a lot of unfairness, and so social justice is a real issue in Jamaica. Even today, we have a need for further reforms to make our country fair, to make our country just. The people want justice. For example, so many of the beaches of this country are not accessible to the people of the country. And you want to go on a beach and hold a little meds and feel a little vibes with you and your family or whatever. You have many people in Jamaica can't do that because it is not accessible to them. And I have been doing some research on this matter. And I see where in other countries in the Caribbean with strong tourism industries like ours, their citizens have a right to access any beach in the country. So I say, what is wrong with Jamaica? Why have we developed this model which excludes our people from access to beaches? And I say to you tonight, social justice demands that we have honest conversations with the tourism sector, with the captains of industry in that industry, and we work out a system which will allow our people access. And we have the weight of the law and the parliament behind us to ensure that it happens. And my commitment to you tonight, to all Jamaica tonight, is that we will change this paradigm and ensure access to the beaches of our land for the people of this land. Another issue, and it affects many of us here in Hanover, is the terms of employment in the tourism industry. It's not just the tourism industry that has this issue, because we know, for example, in the global services industry, them call it BPO, that was its original name, similar things apply. This use of short-term contracts to keep people on short-term contracts so that you can have them like hanging from a string, and you don't give them the security of tenure in their job, and you're depriving them of the benefits that the employment laws of the land intended them to have, but you're not giving it to them. Time come to cut out that. Time come to cut out the misuse of contract work terms in the country. I am not saying that there's no role for contracting people to do work. We all know if you're hiring somebody, a carpenter, or you're hiring a plumber, or you're hiring some technical specialist, they're not going to become your employee. They're doing a work for you, and you have a contract. Might be an oral contract, usually it is. Sometimes it might be a written contract for certain types of... But for people who are essentially full-time employed, coming to work every day, day in, day out, the rules of the job are determined by their employer. The pay that they're getting is determined by their employer. They are workers for that enterprise. They must have the full range of rights that the workers of Jamaica have fought long and hard for, and which the People's National Party played a great role in guaranteeing. The Industrial Disputes Tribunal, its 50th anniversary is this year. That was created by the PNP under Michael Joshua Manley. So that if there was abuse in the workplace, you didn't have to go to court, which was tedious, expensive, and inaccessible fundamentally to many people, many workers. It was a special arrangement set up so our workers could get justice in the workplace. And we had other things that we did. Equal pay for women, maternity leave law, no Boston a day again, the Status of Children's Act, which meant all of us are on the same level legally, whether our parents are married or not. These are the things that the People's National Party have done for Jamaica. And time come to sort out this contract work thing in the public sector and in the private sector. And my commitment to you tonight and to Jamaica is that the next PNP government will deliver justice for the workers of this country and will eliminate the abuse of the contract work form. Comrades and friends, our mission and our dream is to build a country where our people don't have to aspire to leave the country to make it in life. What kind of country is it where your people's main objective is to leave your country? That is not a way to develop our home. That was not the vision of our forefathers when we fought for independence, when we fought for the right to vote. We must set up Jamaica with a system which makes people feel comfortable, which gives people hope, and gives people access to opportunity and access to the ability to use their personal effort and their talent to step forward in life. That is why when we talk about our policies for education, we're tackling the things which are holding the children back now. Absenteeism is the main problem, or one of the main problems. And we have the ease and we have the right to deal with those two issues that are most contributing to absenteeism of children from school. Lunch money and the cost of it, and transportation, the cost of it. And that is why we have developed those programs. And we're going to make those investments because we want our children to have the opportunity that they can move forward, get a good education, and help to uplift themselves. So the DLP have brought in some old buses. Our position is fine. We don't think that is a solution. We see buses as having a role. We wouldn't have bought old buses, just like we wouldn't have bought used cars for the police, which has been a complete disaster. In fact, many of them have not been delivered. That was one of the many corrupt incidents of the JLP government under Andrew Holness. But we would have an integrated system that deals with the real problem. Buses are part of the solution. Taxis are part of the solution. Identifying the children in need is necessary, and having transport operators that can reach them and who are vetted to make sure that they're safe to drive with is part of the solution. And we are about dealing with education. Ours is an education policy. Theirs is a transportation policy. And it's a policy that is going to potentially hurt certain private operators as well. As we have seen with the announcement today, was it? Where they say that the JUTC, which is not providing adequate bus service in the Kingston metropolitan area, as has been said, ridership is down. Number of buses that roll out every day is down significantly from where we left it. Now they're going to be competing for executive bus service all over the island to take people to all over the island. I'm saying that is a lack of focus on what needs to happen. Let us solve the problems that exist. There's no reason why they should be doing that because other people are adequately doing that. Comrades, this is why the next PNP government must be the choice of the people. Because the people need the real solutions to real problems. That's why we have the First in Family. We recognize that there are still many people, children, from poorer homes, low-income homes, who are not taking up opportunities for tertiary education because they can't afford it. And the Student Loan Bureau, as presently configured, is a frightening prospect for many of them. Because if they don't get employed after they study, or their job is a very low-income job, they're going to struggle with the loan payments, and they're going to get a bad credit, and that's going to mess up their prospects in life. That is why we have the First in Family Scholarship. For any family where the student applying for tertiary is the first in that family to do so, they will get a full scholarship under the PNP. And we're going to modify the Student Loan Bureau terms so that the loan payments are capped at a manageable portion of your actual income as a worker. And so that you will be able to manage your life and still make those payments. And if there's ever a time that you are unemployed, your obligation is suspended for the period of your unemployment. So you don't get a bad credit because you're not in default. The PNP is thinking about young people, thinking about the needs of our people. That's why in housing, comrades, yes, we're committed to affordable housing as our priority, because in the last 10 years, there has been no real attempt to fill the demand for affordable housing. Real estate has been booming uptown, apartments uptown, apartments in wealthier communities, going for 30 million, 40 million, 50 million. But ordinary Jamaican people and workers, whether it be public sector workers or self-employed individuals, cannot afford those homes. So we see the gap in the market, we see the need, and we intend to fill it. And the PNP has a track record when it comes to building affordable homes, and a track record when it comes to land reform. That's why when Comrade Lothan Cousins speaks about our land policy, anybody who has been settled on land in Jamaica that is public land and has been there for 25 years or more, they will get their title for that land. And if they've been settled for less than 25 years, but they've invested in the house and they wish to buy it, they will be afforded the opportunity to do so, and they will be given a payment plan that is manageable for them. That is a commitment of the People's National Party. Because we want to build an ownership society. Andrew Holness and the JLP love to talk about prosperity. It is a mirage. It is an illusion. There is no prosperity in Jamaica except among the few who are benefiting from his policies and his approach to governance. We are about creating an ownership society, eliminating the social injustices that exist, giving people access to land and ownership of land, building affordable houses, public lands which we are in the process of identifying, which are not suitable for agriculture. That is where we're going to build those 50,000 houses. And we guarantee each constituency, including Eastern Hanover, including Western Hanover, at least 500 affordable housing units in our first term. And we are not going to include the value of the land in the price of the house when we sell it to you. So when you buy that house, you're getting extra value which you don't even have to pay for. Millions of dollars of value that you don't have to pay for because the land value is not going to be included in the price. So when them come with them 20,000 or whatever them coming with, just think about that. Think about the policies I've been describing to you tonight and those that my colleagues have described already. And think about the fact that those policies are going to benefit you for years to come, benefit your children for decades to come, benefit your descendants, your grandchildren for even centuries to come. And don't be confused, don't be taken off track by inducements that will be present for a day or two, but will be fleeting and gone, and you'll be back in the bondage that you're in now. We are wiser than that, Jamaica. We're not going to be fooled by those promises, those illusions of ribbons that are being cut left, right, and center for projects which are not complete. Projects are not anywhere near being ready. Comrades, we have an important choice ahead of us. Whenever the election is called, whether Andrew call it or the Constitution call it for him, it must happen. And we are ready for it. We're ready now. I've been telling him for a long time, call the election, Andrew. Call it. How is it that in 2020, in less than 4 years of your term, when COVID was on the land and had not yet reached community spread, you called a general election right in the middle of COVID. Community spread was announced the day after that election, and the number of people who died from COVID went through the roof after that. Yet now, nearly 5 years has expired since the last election, and you're afraid to call it. Call it. And make the people decide which way they want to go. Because I am all over Jamaica. Every day, virtually, I'm on the road, pressing the flesh, talking to people, and I know what the Jamaican people want to see. And they want to see the back of this government, and they want change. And the People's National Party is coming with a program of progressive change to uplift the people of this country and make Jamaica a better place. We want to build a strong economy, a resilient economy. That is why I am on Marky G, Mark Jefferson Goling. My principal role as Prime Minister in terms of day-to-day activity will be to look at the bureaucracy of this country and make it more efficient, to make it less costly, to make it less burdensome for who have to deal with it, and to ensure that investors coming to Jamaica get the right treatment so that they will invest their money and create high value added jobs so our people can get wealthy in this country and don't have to run away to other lands to seek hope. There will be hope right here in the land of their birth. I have been meeting with investors. There is a lot of potential there. I'm not going to outline them now. But up to this morning, I had breakfast with some investors who had a wonderful series of plans, 20 projects integrated in areas where Jamaica has great potential, in health and wellness, and in logistics. I'm not telling you any more than that. But we're not coming to government with empty hands. We're coming to government with plans. So comrades of Hanover, I say to you tonight, you gave us 7 out of 7 a year plus ago. We are most grateful to you for that. And I'm a man, I'm chairman of Anegans Football Club. I'm a man who loves the football. We love the cricket too, but... And I want to see 2 love drop in a Hanover. 2 love for drop in a Hanover. Comrade Anja Perkis, I go put it in the pigeon on the right. And Comrade Heather Miller Bennett go and put it in the pigeon on the left. 2 loving of them. Comrades, the word is love. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Hanover. It was an excellent meeting. East and Western Hanover.